Alright, listen up. In this video, I will give you my personal preferences for Season 2 DLC characters for Street Fighter 6. Why Season 2 and not Season 1, here you ask? I'll talk about that in a bit. But why even bother trying to insert characters in a game that's not only not out yet, but we haven't even seen the full roster of? Well, outside of a few pictures. Yeah, okay, you have a point, but hear me out. I'm hype, and I don't get to play the game until maybe next year when it comes out, depending on betas. That's a lot of time, and I'm hype. So let's talk about Street Fighter characters. First things first, I'll be discussing the leak, which still has a few bits that have not been officially confirmed yet, so if you want to avoid spoilers, you have been warned. 4 of those characters have not been announced yet, which is why I'm wishlisting Season 2 DLC characters instead of Season 1, because I expect Ed, Rashid, Akuma and Aki will be Season 1 DLC characters. I will use the same template of 3 returning characters and 1 brand new. The first and likely least controversial pick on my list is a fan favorite groin punching karate prodigy, Makoto. Now, I'm a Street Fighter baby, so I have never played Makoto, but her animations look absolutely fantastic. I mean, okay, look at this. The way she moves, the way she punches and kicks is so violent. It looks so good. I want to do this to people. Look at it. I want to do this to people. See, she punches, she kicks, she command grabs, she ends legacy, and I hope to see her in Street Fighter 6. Next on the list is a more recent addition to the Street Fighter series. A tall, handsome, stylish man with more authority than anyone else on the planet. You know, top hat, majestic beard, a man defined by 12 long, beautiful frames. You know what I'm talking about. Our very own president of the world, Street Fighter V Original G. Well, Street Fighter V Original, unless G is actually Q, in which case he made his appearance a bit earlier. But whatever the case, he looks unique, he plays unique, he's got flair, he's got style, and I would like to see more of him. Especially considering that he was supposed to be the boss of Street Fighter V, but Street Fighter V didn't really have any story surrounding him, so maybe they can do something with him in Street Fighter 6. Here's hoping. Okay, the last returning character on my list is a bit of a wild card, so no, I'm sorry, it's not Dudley, though he was close to making the list. I'm talking about a character who made their debut in Street Fighter 4, but didn't make it to 5. Although I had my hopes were bad, since she did show up in some of the characters in story mode. I'm talking about Crimson Viper, also known as Sea Viper. The 2 reasons I decided to wishlist her over Dudley are, first, her potential. She's got a number of interesting gadgets, and I would like to see a second take on her design. There's a lot of creative freedom if we just attach different gadgets to her kit, even if they're not all the toys she had in Street Fighter 4, or if they are, even if they don't behave the same way. There's still a lot of potential, and I'm very curious to see what the Street Fighter 6 team can come up with for Crimson Viper. Her potential, coupled with my curiosity, is the first reason. The second reason, well, she's hot. And speaking of hot, have you guys noticed how some of the new characters seem to be inspired by older characters? Lily, presumably sharing moves with T-Hawk, at least they're named the same way. Kimberly using Bushinryu. Manon being French and grappling people like Abel, or Abel, well, that guy on the screen, Abel, according to Google Translate. Aki having visual and thematic similarities with Fang, and maybe it's a stretch, but Marisa is a big character. Maybe she won't be too dissimilar to Abigail. Well, I'll take a similar route for the 4th character on my wishlist. If anything, because I don't think anyone would appreciate me spending 15 minutes explaining the type of brand new character I would like to see in Street Fighter 6. Instead, how about we modernize an older character? But not one of the popular fan favorite ones, which I think if they make it into Street Fighter 6 they would make it with their original designs, other than the reimagined version. You know, the Dudley, Sagat, Balrog, why would they change them? No. The character I have in mind is Ken. And I suspect some of you are thinking, but Goblin, what are you on about? We love Ken. He can come back as he is. We don't need him reimagined. And to be fair, I'm not sure how popular Gen is or isn't, and I do recognize that part of his design, what actually makes him cool, is that he's an old Terminal EU character, so if you modernize him, then that part is potentially gone. But we have to keep in mind, he was old in Terminal EU and Street Fighter Alpha 2, according to the wiki that I checked, and there has been some time between Alpha 2 and Street Fighter 6 in the Street Fighter timeline, so I'm not entirely sure how much sense it would make for someone who was already old and terminally ill back then to still be around. However, we could see Gen's legacy represented by his young, conveniently female for the thirsty audience apprentice. That way, we can also check Stan's character off the list of character archetypes available in Street Fighter 6, on top of giving the old boy Gen a bit of a spotlight and potentially a conclusion to his story arc. Now, lastly, I have an honorable mention, and that would be the YouTube subscribe button, which unfortunately, even though I would really like to put it on the list, does not qualify because it's not a Street Fighter character. And that's it, my wishlist. Do you agree, disagree? Who would you like to see added to Street Fighter 6? Tell me. Also, have a great rest of your day.